the biggest question Singaporean has. Do we go US, Europe, overseas to get clients, or even Asia, or do we just stay in Singapore?
As a person that's gone to the US before and spoken to Australian audiences before, my view is cosmopolitan. My view is international. I don't want to have people believe that, just because you go international, everybody love you. No, you have to deal with some form of skepticism or racism. Let's just be very clear.
Hi guys, so welcome to another podcast, Clear Growth Podcast. Today I have with me Melvin So from X Factor. So today we're going to talk about a few things, right? Basically, is the marketing landscape now? A lot of people ask us. I will say like tons of people. Is there any changes with like our business model, stuff like that? Our webinars really did. I think that's like one question a lot of people want to know, like because there's a period of time I think everybody's selling webinars. Like everybody's vouching for doing webinars, but right now you see like not really so much. People come and go, disappear, new ones. Maybe there's something changed, right? Maybe the dilemma of like what are they facing with like online coaches, especially people who I would say are in similar industry, online industry. And last one is the biggest question Singaporean has. Do we go US, Europe, overseas to get clients, or even Asia, or do we just stay in Singapore because it's so small? What can we do? Right?
These are all fantastic questions, by the way. This is my first time hearing all of these, but I think they're great questions.
Yeah, so like maybe you start off like nowadays, like Singapore, at least I think in our country, right, the marketing landscape has changed. I know like US for me has changed quite a bit. There is no sales call, there is sales call, there is people vouching for different things, people saying margin now. Everything works lah to me. But
actually everything works. and that's the funny thing. You got people still doing, I bet there's an underground group of marketers in the US literally making direct mail work. You want to bet?
Yeah, direct mail is easier now, I say, because like less people do it.
Exactly. And people say direct mail, isn't that from the 1960s, 1970s? I swear to you, right? As all these people are talking about AI, right? There's a bunch of people going, hey, let's go and send
the same as
direct packages.
Door knocking and cold calls.
They're crushing. I bet they're crushing it.
The same as door knocking and cold calls. Like there are a lot of sales teams like solar, insurance, real estate. They do bread and butter, few million a year in US. Yeah. Just cold call, door knock.
Yes, but on the other side, you have people that say, hey, let's do AI voice. They don't even need to do sales call. These people are crushing it with direct mail, door knocks, cold call.
Obviously with AI and everything, they can increase the speed. Yeah, if they adopt them, and because the fundamentals are all solid, right? Compared to, hey, I just want to use AI and do the work for me, and that doesn't really help sometimes.
That's true. So my thoughts on all of these, right? I feel that we are entering an age where you have to be really, really good at whatever that thing is for it to work. Let's talk about this also, because this is actually my favorite topic. My favorite topic is not always marketing. So a lot of people, they know me for a variety of things. They know me for teaching X Factor. They know me for teaching marketing and for being a very good closer, which actually I do much more than closing. They know me for posting a lot of different content, etc. But actually I have a very wide range of things. Because actually I can close, I can create ideas, I strategize, but also I can deliver and do masterminds and many other things. But my favorite topic is socio-economic movements of industry, because I feel this was actually the main topic of my X Factor webinar last time. I feel that context drives marketing. For example, why did webinars work so well last time? Is it because we're all so good during 2020? No, it's because everybody's stuck at home, so they got nothing to do. Then you can watch your webinar, so you're confused. You think, hey, actually my webinar very funny, very engaging. No, brother, it's because they all cannot go home, cannot go out, so they all watch your shit. Anyone that did any kind of Facebook Live, IG Live, show any kind of content, right? 2020 and 2021, when the lockdown was enforced, you would have an artificial sense of your own popularity because you think you're very popular. But also because when I stay at home, I got nothing to do, bro. I got to like watch content all day because I need got TV, Netflix, and content. And so, but if you still can sustain that kind of numbers after people can go out, then kudos to you. So socio-economic factors, the way the situation is, drives a lot of demand, and they drives a lot of buying or not buying decisions. So we split 2019 and what we call before COVID. So before COVID, right, things were a bit more free. Don't need to fill in a travel card lah. Don't need to do all this lah. No virus lah. So people lead their very free life. Yep. Now in 2020 to 2022, what was most important? Security, like web survivor, right? Like I don't want to die. But during that period of time, what was also at all-time peak? Attention. Everyone stay home.
And too much money.
Too much money as well, because the government give money. And during that period of time, stock market was all-time high. For whatever reason, but everyone stay home, just screw around with their Robin Hoods or their Tiger Brokers at home. So when stock market was high, so watch. So remember, social factors drive buying behavior. So I stay at home, I got nothing to do, I'm bored. But I look at my stock market, right? I got quite a lot of money. Crypto also boom. Then I think to myself, then what do you think these people do? They buy stuff because you got nothing to do. And so there's a lot of buying decisions that which people can translate to think, oh, I think my marketing is very good. Actually, might not be.
Yeah, e-commerce has boomed in that period. Webinars boom, a lot online boom. Only brick and mortar died.
They died. But then when the world opened up,
they come back again.
Then the webinars drop because all of a sudden people know what I say. Listen to
trip planning companies all come back up again.
They all come back up, and now you come back with a vengeance because all the people 2 years never travel, they want to come back. So is it because the trip companies were that great in marketing? No. Social economic, social context drives the demand. Webinars started to crash because people were like, oh God, Lord forbid, I just sit and listen to another 2 hours, 3 hours of this kind of thing after spending 2 years of doing that. And so now we enter an age also, then what's the next factor that changes a lot of buying behavior? AI came in, and the fact that now we have a lot of things that are hybrid, because for 2 years I do Zoom. So before 2019 and before everything live, face to face. Those 2 years because it conditioned you to accept that Zoom is a norm.
Yes.
I was training a financial advisory company. They say the greatest thing, they love COVID. Say why? Because MAS and the consumers in those 2 years began to recognize that Zoom is allowed as part of their business. Whereas before, it was not allowed. You had to meet face to face.
I actually don't really like Zoom, but anyways.
Yeah. But now it's accepted as
I
a
understand.
norm.
Yeah, it accelerated. So like when people, I think one of a few clients that when COVID came meet before, they said, should we do nothing to lose? You cannot do seminar anyway.
Yeah.
Then they do instantly the money came in like crazy.
Exactly, because it's so hard to condition people, especially condition to face to do Zoom. But now we enter a world of hybrid also,
Yep.
right? So there's so much change. So all these socio-economic factors drive buying behavior. It's really critical because for everyone watching, then the first thing you need to understand is what age are we living in? We're living in the age of AI. We're living in the age of entertainment. We're living in the age of content. This is the age that we're living in. We're not really living in the age of advertisement. We're living in the age of content. Who's watching, you ask yourself, how many times you take your phone today? You mostly click on ads? No, you mostly go and follow your favorite YouTuber, social media creator. And so it's the age of content, age of entertainment, age of community.
That's why we see YouTube is a good capitalization point for at least
A few
people
years,
in Asia. In Asia, right? If you start early, you get ahead of a lot of people. And then same thing as COVID, right? So when you get a lot of money, what do? You build foundational things. You don't do
Yes.
stupid stuff. So I mean by stupid stuff is like
Like Lambo.
theoristic thing aside, right? A lot of people do stupid business deals. Higher, 10 times bigger size for no reason. R&D in a different direction for also no reason. Not understanding human.
The SaaS and app R&D has not worked out very, very well for people. I think they didn't see the AI boom coming.
Secondly, also like I think few of econ friends, they tell me, oh, a lot of people they hire more, they R&D more, they create more products. That's okay. But then when things fall down, right, what happens? They never build the infrastructure to create that AOV, to understand what type of business are they really running, right? So if you're a big tier, let's say a chair company, you're a table company, what truly are you running? Who are you targeting? And do they enter different markets? No, they enter the same market, try sell same thing. And then that becomes worse and worse. Then they open in more showrooms. And then what happens? Like when everything comes in, less people buy, your margins drop. It's like, I cannot sustain. I need to close down some things, right? Yeah. So it's very normal that I've seen like COVID people accelerating to like 10, 20 million. They just stop.
The chair is a great example because people during the period of time there's a mad demand of chair because I got to stay at home, I got to do some work, so I got to buy a lot of chair. You start to think that that's the norm. That should have been the exception. Then when it goes back to normal because people don't buy that many chairs, especially they buy one time, then that's it.
Yeah, so like the boring businesses, like I think some influencers pitch, right? I think it's very, very true to a certain extent, like needs and wants. But wants you want to do in businesses that they don't buy one time, then they bye-bye lah.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say bad businesses, just that harder to sell, harder to scale, much harder. Your operations and your like the capabilities of people in a team needs to be insane. Finance person also need to be insane sometimes compared to a normal. Few businesses that my friends, I think education, right? Meaning coaches, consultants, agency, service-based business are never going out of trend. They might change in the product delivery or service.
In the marketing for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And then last one is all the boring stuff, right? Which is brick and mortar, like let's just say washing stuff,
those
cleaning
people,
aircon, confirm make money.
Those people, funny enough, benefit the most, right? From creating interesting content. Like if you clean aircon, but you're very funny. And
like sell watch also.
Sell watch, yeah. But those people benefit like exponentially because most of the brick and mortar, right, will never embrace any form of digital marketing. But if you embrace and you go and do like influencer or you do like funny content marketing, the explosion is insane.
Looking at in that direction, they realize because their competitors are doing like very, very big competitors, or like small become very huge. I think it's still the age for especially coaches, consultants. We still want that magic bullet funnel or ads lah. It's just how the make money online niche is like. That's why I'm not in the make money online niche. I like in business side, but no one can take away because we want to make money quick, make money fast, make money now. Right? Then we need to capitalize on what? There's only one thing: trends. Like TikTok Shop, AI
agency these days. AI agency, faceless
WhatsApp,
YouTube channel.
Yeah, WhatsApp, AI,
TikTok Shop.
e-commerce.
Use AI copy a TikTok Shop, then they put it out there. Then you can make 10, 15k a month. Times 30, you make 450
so now it's
a month.
the TikTok AI trend, right? So
yes.
like, yeah, a lot of things are within that niche, but you want to build value. Typically, value to the marketplace is most important. So even if you do AI, right, you must always think like, how can I add more value in terms of my ideas, my packaging? Because AI is dead. You are the one that's creatively thinking in contextual form, not AI, right? So that's how I use and how I think Melvin uses as well. So for me, like I think one person that does very well in the MMO space, I think recently I see in TikTok Shop is Rob the Bank.
Oh, I like him. I also follow him.
Yeah, nice. But I don't recommend everything he do, but it's just that I like the way he markets.
I like his content. Rob the Bank. Yes, I follow him. So, and I'm not even in like e-commerce, but I recognize when I
maybe you want to buy that, but like it's that funny. Like you must be a man, must support your wife. My wife can stay at home do nothing because I'm rich.
No, but his methods, his e-com methods, right?
He's a damn solid marketer for himself. I feel that everything is a facade, to be honest. He's not like that as a person. And secondly, you look at the way he sells things, his brand brain is insane. The brand brain is in the products that he itself is insane, right? When you do TikTok Shop, he just basically write the platform, but uses his IP that he already made into TikTok Shop so that he confirm like will be successful, right? I mean, every student he take, if they follow through and if they understand exactly what it means, will be successful. Meaning like the packaging, the branding, like trends over the head, or how to use certain trending product. So he has a few products which them solid, right? He's talked about lubricant, then he thought a hot tool idea solid, man. Edible lubricant, right? That is like super. If I put on Amazon TikTok, it will get sell out in US immediately because that's the trend. So these all are great ideas. I think like, but you utilize AI to help you do stuff that you don't want to do rather than
that's very
all the
that's very
stuff.
clever. This is yeah.
And I think that where everybody moving at. He also understands because why would he be a personality to sell his course? He's good enough with his results, right?
Yeah.
But he understands that the audience requires that
that's
personality.
the age, like I said at the start, you're living in the age of content. You're living in the age of entertainment. I can't notice this, and it's good and bad. I have my own personal, apart from business and marketing, I have my own personal feelings about it. I noticed this happening. This started to build when sports people realized that they cannot just be good at playing. This all started.
They need to sell themselves.
Back in 2016, 17, and 18, and the first person that started all of these things. See, this person started it first, and he deserves to make a lot of money, even though he's probably on cocaine or some weird shit these days. And I don't know if he'll ever fight again. But the person that really started this also is Conor McGregor.
He sold himself very well.
So Conor came in, and last time nobody cared about personality, and you just go up there, you fight, we watch a bloody mess, and that's it. But Conor understood, right, that the business, right, is not fighting. The business is the press conference. Then the business is the build up to the fight.
Yeah.
Then the business is the fight. Then the business is the after the fight. And so like most fighters will go in there and not say anything. I'm here to fight. I prepared well. See you tomorrow. Bye. Then it's so boring. So Conor turned the press conference into a circus. He turned the build up into a circus. WWE type rivalries with people. And all of a sudden, like his pay-per-view, right, shot up. People all over the world just wanted to come and watch. So on fire.
Paul is doing the same thing.
Yes. But see, I need to mention Conor because Jake copied Conor. All these people copy Conor. And so then afterward, he took that popularity madness and parlay it into boxing. And he Floyd Mayweather. And it made him a few $100 million for one fight. And from then on, then he started to take that influence and parlay it into whiskey products and many other things. And you also see during that period of time, so all this started 1617 was during the time. George Clooney, Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, all started influencer brands.
Yeah.
So The Rock had his tequila brand. Ryan Reynolds has his gin brand. I forgot whatever the heck George Clooney. I think it was tequila also. But they started to take their influence and parlay it just brands. Everyone watch it and see, hey, wow, can get famous, then pass to a brand, then the brand can shoot up value. So we start to go towards a fame and popularity and entertainment-based business model, as opposed to last time people just drink this because it's really good.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, from then on, you start to see everyone trying to copy Conor lah. Because they go, can fight. Because if you not Conor, before that, your fight make 300k. Everyone go, this guy fight, make 300 mil. Oh, so must store a lot of shit. Must do this. I will do that then. I guess that's important. And that's when you see the explosion of all one in a box. Yeah. All this influencer stuff coming in. Now it's turning into a circus. Because now it's literally, sometimes I question the product or quality. Well, we know there's a lot of marketing and influence, but whether there's quality, I think there will be a bounce back eventually. Like we discussed before.
It's a balance. It will balance it out. Like the market will correct itself.
The market will correct because now a lot of influencer brands, very popular. And then that also started Kylie Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, who turned her makeup into $1 billion thing. You see Homozy talks about that also. Is the makeup so good? I don't know. But it's a Jenner, it's a Kardashian thing also.
That's why they're in fast consumer goods.
Yes.
FMCG. Because like quality I think it's important. It's not that important in my opinion. It's just a brand that's more important. $5 difference for you. If you choose to like a person, you buy it.
And today we enter the age of Feastables by Mr. Beast, then you got Prime by Logan. And so we are swinging towards, we're starting to get towards the extreme of influencer pusher. Problem with all of these is not the content. Is the product actually good? And I feel that eventually people will start to realize, because everything you mentioned just now, people write on trends. It's very hot in marketing. It's very low in quality. And so eventually something will break. And then people are like, hey man, these influencer brands are all shit on it. Then they will bounce back towards quality. So it's a pendulum. This is called fame. This is called quality. And then it just swings accordingly.
I'm not playing on a point you say like everything begins in the ring, right? So I think it's similar for webinars. What most people feel, everything begins in webinars, right?
Yeah.
Inside the webinar only, which I think you teach also as well. Like pre-frame, all the things you do before actually affects a lot what you do within.
That's what Conor realized. Conor realized the fight is not in the ring, or the fight is in the press conference.
Definitely, right? So then most people, especially new people who start webinars, what do you think happened? They just focus on the webinar and they die.
So it is kind of sad also, because you will see this, you in helping people, coaching people. For the typical person, they believe that sales is when I meet the person.
Definitely.
The webinar begins when I press the start, and then you like say start PM. It's like it doesn't.
It starts when they see you.
It starts when they first interact and see you digitally, not on the screen, but on a platform, on an ad, etc. Because that's when the first impression is made. So let's say you show an ad, they don't like you, and then they don't go appear on the website. Even if they like you and they click on the ad, they will search for you, they watch your content, they develop an impression of you beforehand, they watch your number of follow-ups, etc. In fact, by the time they reach the webinar, they have discovered. But that's a funny story. I first learned this during COVID. Because I thought doing a lot of webinars, and I thought to myself, hey, my webinars are really crushing it, man. These people love my webinars. Oh my god, we're doing it 40, 50, 60% sometimes. So I went to do the class and I went to ask them, how many of you came to my webinar and didn't know who I am and bought? Then no one raised hand. I said, this is really weird. I said, wait. How many of you came to my webinar already knowing who I am? And then someone typed, it's like, yeah, I already know who you are, what the class teach, what the price is. I said, then my next question is, why attend the webinar? Just to check. Then I said, how many people this person who know who I am, have heard about the class, blah, blah. The whole comment section, then I say, wait, let me get something straight. I was getting now a marketing lesson. I said, you all came to a webinar and you know who I am. Someone said, I watched a webinar also.
Validation.
I was like,
validate their choice.
why do you come to something? You know the offer, you know the price, you know what it's going to teach, you know who I am. They come for what? Then I say, next time my webinar, find me. Hello, you all know I am. Here's the buy me. Please save my time. They say, oh no, must check. See whether legit.
Asian must check.
I start to realize, so you're trying to tell me that 0 to 10 steps are buying. They've developed the 0 to 8 on their own.
I realized that when I do agency at the very, very start, right, a lot of people are saying, I need to meet the person that I sell. For me, last time how I do it, because I realized that my sales isn't great. I wouldn't say it's the best. I would have developed across the years, but I wouldn't say I'm the best person because I like to give value during and sometimes kind of butcher the sales, right, depending on the situation. But sales aside, I realized I got one frame that I need to sell throughout systematically before I even meet. Before, after. So my frame, right? Imagine agency owner A, agency owner B, I'm A, right? If I go to you, you book a call, you see I got podcasts, I got testimonial, I got interviews. Every now people are interviewing me or I'm interviewing them. The frame of mine for me is 10 times better than the other guy.
Oh yeah, if you are famous, you have value, you have all the credentials and triggers, then here's the thing also. You are not an agency owner anymore. You are a celebrity. I noticed this, right, a long time ago. And that's why I have a very interesting, very calm, chill way to regard whole fame thing. Because I've always been, I mentioned this at X Factor class, I've always enjoyed wearing like t-shirts, Uniqlo, etc. Last time when I wear, then people see me, then they go, hey, look at this guy. But last time, no money, no result, not famous. They say, look at this guy. Every day wear t-shirts, so unprofessional. Then after that, I got money and fame and status. Then they like, so look at Melvin. Every day wear t-shirts, so relatable and down to earth. I said, oh, really? Why? What's the difference? The difference is results. So
when you have results, people listen to you.
So when you produce content and they see you already, they actually are taking the time to meet me. Wow, this is a very interesting frame.
I think the biggest thing I take away I had recently as well when I do content is that, like, because we feel like the people that come to our ecosystem, right, they already know us. When we create content, right, we're not creating for them. That's my biggest takeaway. Meaning, like, because we are tired of selling like ourselves very much of the time. Because like we keep saying to the point, I don't want to say I earn this amount. I don't want to say I work for this person. I don't want to say all these are like I said a million times. I don't think I need to say it anymore. But the truth is, you still need to say it because there are always people.
There's always new people. It's like
wow, you need to proof. Like it's a habit that you need to be.
Bro, you're like a singer, and they all like your favorite song. And then they're like, hey, remember? You ask yourself the Backstreet Boys that I Want It That Way. They sing how many times? Right? They probably sing it 1,000 times. And it was like they launched the song 1999. Now it's 2024, like, bro. They probably sang that song 20,000 times. Then they're like, okay, never mind. This group of people have never heard this song. Let's go. Sing the same song.
Yeah, but that's the truth. For webinars, the exact same thing. Like you say the same thing over until you are bored of it.
Yes, again, that's why some of my friends look to automate it. Then, if you do it live, there's a stronger effect. But ultimately, even if you automate it and you do a talk, let's say in a different country, new audience, they've not heard of you, kind of have heard of you, they still ask you the same question. You end up having to repeat. So this business, coaching is the business of repetition. I discovered that a long time ago. Sales is oftentimes, you ask a financial advisor, how many times they go out there, sell insurance and repeat themselves? Probably 1,000, 10,000 times. So a lot of these jobs are a source of repetition.
Yeah. So question is like, do you think webinars are dead like at this?
So what is a webinar? A webinar is a digital presentation. Let's just say a digital presentation will never die because the opposite to a digital presentation is a physical presentation. Correct? So the art of presenting something to somebody, no matter what, right, is essential for people who buy something. So we can never take that way. But I ain't buying until there's a presentation. Okay, so there are two kinds of presentation that we need to do. One is called physical, where I need to meet the person. But quite hard to do it. The person is in Colorado, Miami, right? So if I can do it live and they want face to face, we can do it. If they cannot, then we have to do a digital presentation. So a digital presentation, it will always be irrelevant. People always need that presentation. But what they ask about is webinar live or dead, right? It's the length, it's the funnel, it's the format, it's the way you do it. If you're going to do it the old school method. So the thing about market changes, right? And that's why people have often said marketers spoil everything. It's because here's the process of how things are spoiled.
What's that AI has been spoiled?
A marketer discovers cool way to do something. He has now one or two choices, but eventually he will go to choice number 2. He can silently do it himself and then all is good because the lack of saturation of this makes it fresh. Or number 2, he can launch a course, do a coaching program or go to one of these summits, right, and share the idea. Then now 400, 500 people all do the same. Then shit, now everyone is saturated. Then all the people that enjoy the freshness and the uniqueness of that now are inundated with this. And they go, this is damn blind boring. Hey, everyone's doing it. Especially they do it in increasingly lower quality. And now this entire dev method dies. And then some guy comes up with a brand new method and it repeats. So why am I mentioning this? And this is why you say, no, marketers kill everything.
Shiny funnel syndrome. That's why it's called.
They go there, they kill everything. This is exactly the same the way it worked in pickup and dating last time. Because you have a way of approaching a girl and getting a number that works. You teach to everybody. Now the girl is bombarded by 50 times a day by different guys using the same method. She's like, what the hell is this? He does it.
And now it's social media even worse.
Yes.
Everybody see, hey, why people use this on me?
Yes, exactly. So what's my point? My point is the old way of doing webinars. So what are some of the old ways of doing webinars? That was a very long story. 45 minutes of your set stops. That was a story. A hint and tease for extended periods of time. Show 200 testimonials.
So I don't join any webinars.
Exactly. We all know. But see, there was a time where that worked. Okay, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So let's break down. Because I've been in this industry 17 years already. So here are the things that people are these days no longer work. There was a time where it worked. Now people don't.
Sob story.
Long, extended, multi-generational sob story. Start when this is my baby picture. You laugh, but it's real. Then they walk you through the teenage years, the father abused them, and then it was like 30 minutes in, you're like, oh, you're not sure is it a Channel 8 drama or is this a webinar? I'm not learning anything so far, but I'm just feeling very emotional. It's dead. Was why? We're short attention span. Let's get to the shit. Number 2, this long extended teasing of information without giving actual value. So I'll just say, oh, Bryan, the success is imagined, then desire. These are very huge conceptual words, but no real practical step.
No substance.
No substance. You just write down like, okay, I feel I'm learning something. An hour and a half is gone. I know what the hell
Maybe you hear it 10 times also.
Yes, right. And then the third one is the over spamming of like just testimonials nonstop.
Yeah.
That validate this big concept idea with no substance. Then eventually they sell your course.
I think the testimonial still works. It's just that the rest doesn't really help the testimonial.
Yes. And then the pitch now is 1 hour. And the 1 hour has a lot of things that don't make you feel very, very good. I feel so the fourth thing that people don't like about webinars is insult selling. You know, I was around in the era of stage selling where people will go out and score you. If you don't go and buy, you're an idiot, you're a loser. You're like, wow, it's like, you try doing that on the Zoom.
对不起你的父母.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm like, or anything weird these days. You know, I've been part of events where they put people at the door, like, bro, they'll let you go out.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the seminar space. So I understand how it works.
But that's creepy. And like, you do that shit these days, you get mothership or you put your TikTok.
They stopped doing it because like a lot of influencers go and disrupt.
Exactly. So
thing also.
these kind of webinars, right? So why does it stop? Because these webinars have one thing in common. They are a waste of time. 3 hours later, you walk out and I don't know if you learned anything. Number 2, they don't make you feel very good. And number 3, you have learned absolutely. And so this format, right? If you're running this format in this day and age, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
However, there are still people doing digital presentations, known as a webinar. That still work. I noticed a few things. Number 1, short and snappy. Number 2, clear expectation of whatever they're going to learn. Promise made, promise delivered. Number 3, yes, there's some testimonials, but they're like fast. Number 4, you actually like there is demonstration of things like whether it's a Google Doc, they show you, okay, here are some of the things that I'm doing and here's why it's working. A software, we discussed that before. Things that actually people can see and walk away and be like, oh, that was a good use of time. That I learned something. I like the person I find authentic, I find entertaining. That was actually pretty good. And then the next question pops in your mind. Got more? Now they want more. Now they're like, hey, it ended too soon already. What's the next one?
Yeah,
and then
there's a gap.
and then you just send a link and say, if you're suitable, you can click over here. Either you have a low ticket to build more trust, or you have a community offer that works very well these days, or you say you apply and then we talk more. Now you leave them wanting more. The 3 hour extended soft fest, right, leaves people feeling violated. Like, that was disgusting.
Bad energy.
Yes.
I mean, last time it works. Like,
why do you think it worked last time? I also don't know. People no choice. Listen to this shit.
I think it's our culture, mainly. I won't say US are more accustomed. I think international are more accustomed to insults. And they're okay.
Oh, really? God damn.
They're more direct, you get what I mean? Yeah, so if you look at the seminars, that's where we learn from, technically. So then it brings us, like, let's just say Asia and Singapore. It works with the older people or not. I think the younger people actually change a lot. Like, it doesn't work as well anymore because, like, environment change, COVID change, a lot of things change, right?
And maybe the young people just don't want to be yelled at and be called names.
They yell at their parents. Like, it's the different generation.
Different generation.
The same thing as a TikTok. They also
it's also on Zoom. If you yell at me, I'm like, hey, screw you. Just leave.
Yeah, so now it's very motivational, I would say, like, to a certain extent. And second thing, like, in terms of giving value. I think fundamentally, right, when I create content, when you create anything like presentation, I noticed this like recently and last time how I get so many clients in a different agency and also like so many big names, right? Then a lot of marketers ask me, hey, how you get? And then I'm like, think, how did I really get? I also don't know, right?
Your posts were damn good, bro.
Yeah, then okay, then I go and analyze the post, right? So what specifically things in the post that I do that made me get the results? Even internationally, right? Get like people who are like international big names coming to me, say, hey, can you consult my team member to do YouTube ads, all that kind of thing? Then I'm like, what is it about, right? Then the insight, right? So then when I try to explain what's insight, it's very difficult for me to explain, especially even when I teach people. So I recently came to this conclusion. Insight is very simple. You sell the idea. Sell the idea equal insight. So what do I mean by that? Okay, let's just say you're doing...
Oh, I know, trading.
Like for my
funnels.
Let's just say I'm doing marketing, right? Blue ocean positioning. Everybody know what the hell is it. But if I sell you the idea of it first, you get an insight that you need to do it. Then everything else will click, right? So that is like the biggest shift in fundamental learning that I realized that everyone should do it. And if they do it in every content, everything that they have done, I mean, not as obsessively, but like excessively as well, you will actually get clients because they have a gap, right? And it's not purposely gap. It's like they really get value, they get content, and they understand, hey, this is very, very important. I need this for my business because I realized that, hey, this is the missing piece, right? And that's how you actually do it. But then now how do you say in that way? So what I did last time was to borrow authority if I have no authority.
To break down what somebody is doing.
Even when I have authority and I'm not big enough, I also still borrow. You realize what contents are going viral on, especially marketing content, right? If I read a lot, breakdowns of e-commerce brands.
Kylie Jenner method.
Correct. Right? So breakdown of brands.
Did that.
Yeah, Homozy, everybody breaking down Homozy, right? So if you understand...
Andrew Tate formula.
Correct. If you understand how attention is being made and how attention is being sold and how to utilize utilize it to create insight. You basically have a brilliant business model. I
a
would
good
say.
entry point for a lot of people ching and you want to.
Yeah, you can be nobody and you can just make a brand out of nowhere. Like I honestly tell everybody that marketers this, right? I was nobody as a YouTube ads guy. 3 posts, I become the guy. It's like stupid. But the 3 posts are the ones that what I did, what I said, which is really sell the insight. Right?
You sell the insights and you prove the insights also.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really critical that every time you create content, there's an element of. So I was analyzing and I was teaching on these challenges recently because webinars, you can go into like a damn deep science. I have a mentor, Joe Bauer, teaches like 20, 30, 40 steps. So you want to go geek mode, you can. But then most are not like this also.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, oh my God, how am I going to teach this in like to very basic people? And I said, why not give them 6 words? So it's why me, why this, why now? So the first key, before anyone want to listen to your why this is an idea. We are saying the same
Why
thing.
me first?
Why me first? Because
Sell yourself first.
I don't know who the heck Bryan Ang is. I'm not going to listen to shit.
Correct.
So, but then what you did for why me is you borrow authority. So when you say the Alex Hormozi, the Andrew Tate, the Kylie Jenner method for, and now you're like, I know who Bryan Ang is, but I know who Hormozi, Jenner.
And you associate me with them.
Yes, and so I will read this because it's the why me. It might not be Bryan, but okay, I'll listen for that. Then the why this, oh, he quite clever. Then why now? He's like, hey, I think this guy is quite solid. I got call to action. Hey, let's go click. That's it. No, you did exactly. You frame yourself, borrowed, and then afterwards you had the great ideas, and then afterwards.
So I think all webinars, any type of thing you do should have that to actually be very, very good. Honestly, webinars are hard to do as a beginner, in my opinion, right now. At this
I think many
culture.
elements of marketing are hard.
Yeah, true. Like many elements are hard.
See, bro, before you even talk about webinar, we give a lot of value. We say, hey, you must shoot content. Tell them your content
content very
shooting. Content. People say, hey, this 30-second video shouldn't be that hard, right? Take 2 minutes to shoot, right? Bro, my phone is jam-packed with NG.
Actually, everything is hard. That's true. So like, what I'm saying is like, do not expect webinar just do one time you make $1 million. Almost impossible, right?
That is hard. You know, building
Yeah,
a community
even
is
do
hard.
one content, you make $1 million. Almost impossible, right?
Cannot lah.
Practice.
Delivery is hard also.
Very hard, yeah.
It's damn hard. This whole thing is hard.
Business is supposed to be hard.
Yes,
If
and
it's easy, everyone would have
I
done
think
it.
the problem is everyone makes it seem very simple.
Because like I say, like
It's easy to sell.
marketers, like actually not marketers only, like people sell make money online streams.
Yes, I think every
Just push
element
button,
is
make money.
every element of this thing is hard. I really think it's really like mixed martial arts. You got to learn like so many different factors also. And
Few
so,
years to
a
refine.
few years, and then as you have gaps in other areas that are critical to business, but you don't have time to go and master yet, you're going to suffer.
Yeah,
so let's say you
definitely.
don't know how to manage people now, but you then go at ads. You're going to suffer as a result of
You can't skip.
the inability to manage people. But you're like, oh man, but I got other things I need to learn now. So it's like so many plates that you have to spin. Really, this is a hard game, man.
And what do you think like the state of like online coaching or like online business right now?
I think it is evolving. So here are my thoughts also. So there's need, there is like how people come in. Is there a need for online coaches these days? So let's not look at the idea because the whole business of online coaching is a problem because it's often sold as a quick, fast way or an easy way for people to make money, which we'll get to here just a bit. But do people need coaches in this day and age? First of all, coaches, mentors, they will never die. They will never die because they are always a shortcut or a resource for people to get information they cannot get on their own. A long time ago, people need coaches and mentors because lack of info. These days, it's the complete opposite. Too much info. Both of these are terrible because when you have lack of info, you don't know what to do. When you have too much info, you also don't know what to do because now you got 10 opposing voices. And so like you are actually more confused. And so we need somebody to help us walk out through the darkness, whether it's the darkness of lack or darkness of too many things also. I don't know what to do. You're lost and overwhelmed and confused so that they can get a result. So number one, coaches, mentors, always necessary. Nobody succeeds at a high level without that. Number two, the space these days are packed with a lot of people who might not have had the experience, who are jumping into this for not quite the right reasons. And also like at the end and they are all very well versed in one thing, branding and selling. Not very much in the delivery part. Why are they here? Because they've been promised, somebody promised them a fast dream. And so there's a huge cynicism towards this entire industry also.
Yes.
I think there will be whitewash, which means a washout of people that cannot deliver soon. Because it's the same, the great flood in the Bible, like it was wash out all the people. Because there is a great trend these days with influencer-led brands that don't have quality. So these days you're starting to see that there'll be a washout of coaches that have bought the best funnels and the best content but cannot deliver, and they'll get washed out also. And the ones that can actually deliver, because it's a market correction, like you call it, and the ones that can deliver, they will prosper really, really well. I think that's really important also. Also, then what people need also. So we definitely need coaches. We need better quality, and sooner or later the market will correct. There's way too many trash ones, and the ones that come and go very fast. The ones that stay, they are the ones that will stay relevant throughout. Then also the next one is what people want in terms of coaching. So this is my favorite topic. Long time ago, people wanted multi-speaker events, success resources, had that. Every single new business model, they come and go and they go especially because it's bastardized. Bastardized means someone violated the model. You know, multi-speaker is a very romantic model. I get 10 great speakers, no selling. They come and each share 90 minutes of their best wisdom. Boy, it's damn cool. Eventually, it degenerated to what? Multi-selling. So you just go there and be like, oh my God, I'm learning nothing. Everyone's just telling me I suck, but now I'm just like, I
Need to buy their stuff.
So that model started. Then what was the next one? The next one was the 3-4 day, few $1,000 seminar model. That was great for a while until people start to think, what, 3-4 day, never mind. Why not we give it for free and use it as a front end to sell high ticket coaching? So that one also, right? Because the moment people start doing 3-4 day masterclass, what was 2,000 before? T.F. Ecker started this also. Was he a millionaire mind intensive?
500.
It was $2,000. Then it became, no, for a while, now it's 500. For a while, it's $7, bro. It's free. So that kind of like wrecked the whole industry because you sell
Everyone
3 day, you sell 3 day, 3K, half acre sell 3 day, $7. Or that kind of wrecked the whole market. Now everyone do free masterclass. So now you have high ticket coaching. So high ticket coaching works to a certain degree if during that period of time, because it was like, oh, the coach has secret information that he only tell his 50K, 30K clients. Correct? Then who can destroy this model? Or people like Homozy. Because why? Because
Give value for free.
Yes, because he take all the content and he decided to launch 50 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour masterclass. That last time they kept behind the paywall in the coaching and he said, hey, never mind, all this free. Then people go, hey, this one are better than my 30K coaching. Then now the 30K coaching liao. Now we enter age of everyone launching 1, 2 hour, 3 hour, everything out, nothing held back. Then now how? So now the next model now is community, because even though I have a lot of information on a sense of community, so the next offer you have now is community. So what you realize? You realize every market model, market cycle, business model, then someone will bastardize it, right? So and then virtual summit in the middle of COVID, that started and died like in a year, right? You remember the start of COVID, people do a lot of virtual summit. Then everyone kind of pump virtual summit by 2021 die already. No one want to attend already. It's like, I spent all my money on the virtual summits already. I'm done. So now we enter the age of a lot of content. But a lot of content I watch already, but I don't know what to do. I need a bit of help. So there is a community plus coaching the model.
Clarity, implementation.
Clarity, implementation, community. So it's not about secret information. It's about the fact that we gather together. We have a leader, we have experiences, we have implementation. So that's the model for now. I promise you 100 plus chop. This model will get bastardized. Then Lord fucking knows what
Become
the next
agency model.
It might be agency. I also don't know. I don't know what the next model is. What do you think the next one is?
Everybody do and promise and claim to the point that nobody believes anything.
So the community, let's say after community, after...
And everything goes in-house.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know. I am going to spend time thinking what... But if you ask
the
me...
cycle repeats. So
then the cycle go back here. So if you ask me what coaches need to know now, content is freely available and they are good. That's the key. It's good. Last time content on YouTube, right, it's always a teaser. Right? When I was in the marketer for the dating industry, right, we'll release those like 3-4 minute teaser. So you watch the video already, you learn nothing, but you feel worse. You know, women don't respond to this kind of thing. And the number one thing that women respond to, then we, please go and opt-in. So the content got no value. It's an ad. It's a hook ad.
Yeah.
Whereas now, they launch the whole thing 2 hours, 3 hours. And so we are in the stage, so if you're watching this and you're a coach, we're in the stage of a community, you're doing with some of your clients. Community, help them with implementation, you create experiences for them together. I see that if you look at who's doing well now, classic example of this, probably started with Andrew Tate. Because Andrew started doing a lot of podcasts. And his podcasts are like 3 hour, 4 hour long. And they're quite good. Like teaches a lot of stuff there. He has a low ticket community. Now I think university.com as of this shooting, about 47, 57. It's a community based thing. And then afterwards, once you join there, then you can join inner circle where you have a higher level access, they have experiences, they have implemented the meetups and this kind of thing. And this is the model, or just a community and experiences and higher level stuff also. And so like there are so many spin-offs. So I just think as of now, maybe the next 3-4 years, this model will work.
And just capitalize on that and earn the money and do
and
smart
think
things
about
with
what
it.
to do.
Do smart things with it. It's business like it's reality like it's business.
Look down the road and go and think what the next model is.
You look at normal traditional business is the same. Some slower business growth is based on market as well. And those are longer lasting, right? But those that fast like tech, IAI, it's the same trajectory. You just attach something else to it. Then it's like, oh, I need to be this thing now. I need to change the business model. And fundamentally, it's just like get users, right? You get clients. You maintain and retain a client based on products. And obviously, if the product is destroyed by something else, then you have no choice but to change, right? And that's the reality. Unless you don't really want to be in this business anymore, then it's fine, right? You can just do investing, take money, go invest, get passive income, whatever you want to be.
Sometimes people do that. If you're watching and you want to do that, don't worry. You know, I have a dear friend who basically makes more passive income a year via interest than a lot of people make in business. His passive income is some people's dream business income. You just stay at home and do nothing. I don't want to say later you're upset.
Yeah, but like that is, I think to me, like you understand what you want in business is the most important. If you're in a stage of getting money, get them back. If you're not, then it's fine, right? You can just maintain, retain as much as you can, and slowly either you sell, you close down, whatever, maybe it doesn't matter. So just understand what you want in general.
Yeah.
And that is like the key thing, right? Not I tell you do this, you do this. Not everybody tell you do this, you do this. Then you become confused. Having that clarity is like the best thing you can do for, I would say, business. Being you choose a mentor, you buy a course, you buy a coaching, doesn't matter what. Once you choose that thing, I think best is to go forward with it and execute in it, and then that will get the best results for you. So last one is for Singaporeans, right? International or stay in Singapore?
I think it's an interesting story. Before we talk about the tactics, I want to tell you something very interesting. I go around the world and travel around. I do my best not to be in Singapore much. I don't want to share my lifestyle reason, but the reason is because I just think that other countries have greater value for cheaper price.
Yeah, okay.
It's as simple as that. I hope people who watch this, you don't get upset, but you cannot deny it. It's a fact. I can eat a great grass-fed steak for $20 in other places where Singapore will cost me 60 or 50. It's just like, and the steak smaller also. Other place very nice. So I travel. I meet a lot of influential YouTubers and entrepreneurs. I have come to a realization because I listen to them as they talk. The people who love to ask me the most about Singapore, or they begin with the thought process, I want to be the best in Singapore, only largely Singaporean. And I started, when I meet the overseas YouTuber, they'll never ever ask me, like I had an interaction recently, Hamza, right? He has a 2.85 on YouTube. He comes from the UK. He's actually Pakistani. And I interacted with him. At no point in time did he ever use the word UK or Pakistan. His immediate thought is global. Every single person I talk to, right? Immediate thought global. Even Malaysians who are doing like the YouTubers. I have a girl, her name is Zhi-Wei. She probably have 4-5 million, but she do all the cute like the video for kids. She never just think, I want to dominate a KL. I want to dominate Klang. No, it's like, how can I reach people all over the world? I find it very interesting that when we are in Singapore, the only thought is like, I want to dominate Singapore. That thought Americans share sometimes. And they are like, there's some Americans who are like, oh, America is the world. I only want to travel to the different states only. Not bad. Great idea. But because America is big enough, got 300 plus million people. So you're only in America is not bad. Now what is the only in Singapore problem? This place only 5-6 million, bro. So if you only America, you got 50 times the number of people or 50 times the access than Singaporeans. I just find it so interesting. I hope people watch it, don't get upset. I call it small country, small mindset. Why do we always begin where other people don't begin? They don't put constrictions on themselves. They only begin global. But here we only start and end the convo by immediately assuming, hey, how can I dominate Singapore? That's it. And not to say that's wrong if this place had like China, but the problem is here only got 5-6 million. So immediately we have a literal cap on our income. We are literally playing small in a small country with a small way of thinking, etc. As if our content and our marketing methods can only access to these 6 million. And we have relevance here only. I think it's a horrible way of thinking. And I've not seen this thinking anywhere else apart from largely Singapore people.
I agree.
To the degree that past Singapore, the more open-minded ones will think, how can I expand to Malaysia? You got hear this? If they're a little bit more open-minded, they want to open, they go Malaysia, then where else?
I think
they go Thailand, Taiwan, that's it. Then they just stop there.
I think the other countries that I heard before, like that say stay in the country is European.
Within the region, maybe.
Because Europeans in the country, in a lot of things like e-com, in Boches Consultants, it's like, I think got people just say, take Kennedy stuff, become you, then go there, then earn money.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying like, so in NLP, they frequently talk about pre-assumptions. Just assumptions when you begin. So if your first question is, how do I succeed in Singapore? There's a presumption inside.
Understand.
The question is, why you only ask me in Singapore? Like, I entertain a lot of questions where literally the in Singapore is in the question. And it's always a default. And like, something goes,
someone believes as well. I feel be accustomed to not going overseas. I mean, I meet a lot of people that are more successful than me, and I also don't know why they don't have overseas clients. And I meet young kids that only have overseas clients, and they are Singaporeans.
Yes, and their
so
belief and
the belief is very different. Yeah.
When you travel, you start to realize. No offense to any country, I'm just saying, you start to realize that your assumption of the fact that people from a foreign country are automatically way smarter than you is not always correct. In fact, you go there, you're like, wait, what? This guy's kind of dumb. It's from blank country. And I was like, hey, well, if he can do it, shit, I think I'm 10 times smarter than him or 5 times.
I think just need some changes if you really want to go international. It is definitely possible. But number one problem is, if you don't have content, I think it's very, very difficult. Like, that's my take, right? Because if you just run ads there, like, why this Asian kid telling me what to do? Like,
I think there are a few ways that I've kind of noticed if you want to go international. So first thing first, we have the conversation first. First, it's about belief. Because if we talk about method and you don't believe, you only want to do Singapore, then
just do Singapore.
Then you will not apply a single thing that we say. So my whole point of saying this is not to agitate you. My whole point is, it's possible. As a person that's gone to the US before and spoken to Australian audiences before and different US audiences before, and I've even taught kids at Stanford before. So I have traveled around the world, whether in Chinese, in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, I've kind of done it. So my view is cosmopolitan. My view is international. I know it can be done. I know also, and I don't want to, before we get the methods, I don't want to have people believe that, just because you go international, everybody love you. No, you have to deal with some form of skepticism or racism. Let's just be very clear. So the number one racist problem that I have is that when people don't know you yet, show your content so that people don't ask you this kind of question is, hey, Bryan, which country are you from? And you will say
Singapore.
And they'll be like, oh, that's fantastic. Which part of China is that? And then you're like, oh, you speak, what do they speak in Singapore? Then you're like,
English.
No, how about the Chinese? Then they ask you a lot of like weird question like, are there a lot of Koreans in Singapore? And you're like, no. Like, are you near Korea? Korea, you're like, by near, if you on Netflix, they're a Korean show, but we're not near. Oh, cool. Yeah, then you see, so you have to deal with this. And it's not once, it's not twice.
It's many times.
It's many times. So I'm not saying that they are racist because they never just say, oh, look at this yellow skin Chinese fella. No, but it's just like you're just like, whoa, like these people, many people have not been outside the country and not been to Asia. And so helping them understand who you are and that surprise that here is an Asian person from a country I've never heard about or not familiar with that can speak somewhat proper good English is kind of surprising too. And you have to entertain that whether you're whatever country you're in many times. After what I was like, I want to play a recording because I got asked that like 20 times in one of these like events overseas. And I was just like, yeah, are you kidding me? Why am I constantly talking about Singapore? Right? So that's the first key. The second thing is there's a certain level of skepticism, not because I need to let you know. You wouldn't face it in Asia because in Asia, everyone knows where Singapore is. In other countries, they have not encountered people like yourself. So in their minds, so for everyone watching you, you might think, oh, let's say I ask you, you meet a person now and he's from Africa. Let's say he's from Papua New Guinea. What's your understanding of Papua New Guinea? Probably nothing. You don't even know. You have some very low, ignorant understanding of Africa. You're like, do they have water? Like, do they have food? But actually, they have, let's say it's fantastic. And so when you meet this person first, you are skeptical. You're like, I've never encountered anyone from this place before. And you have a lot of like credibility questions and issues like, what do y'all do there? Like, how are you so good at this? Like, what is your credibility? You got to face that if they have not come to Asia before. Definitely. And so that skepticism, you must be prepared. That level of like, I won't call it racism. I'll just call it like ignorance about your culture. You have to be prepared.
It goes both sides also.
Yeah. So if you think about like, hey, how come they're doing this to me? Just imagine me a person from Africa that you might have the same questions, or like Eastern Europe, you might have the same question that I never heard of this country before. So you have that. How do you mitigate this? You mitigate this by shooting content.
Yeah, that's the only
because
way
when you shoot content and you are really good and they have watched you for a while and like you, then actually, see, if I don't know who you are an Asian Chinese guy with specs. If I know who you are,
Superstar.
You are Bryan Ang.
Yeah.
You are Bryan Ang. There's a difference, There's Asian Chinese guy and there's Bryan Ang. When I know who you are Bryan Ang. If I ask you, who's a Portuguese guy you don't know it. Hey, Cristiano Ronaldo lah.
Soccer.
Right? Because you don't know Portugal bigger, but you know Cristiano Ronaldo. You see a difference, right? So the only way to overcome this is to shoot your content, build your brand so that you are not. That's why I wear my little Bruce Lee shirt today. But Bruce Lee, right, is a Chinese fella. But then when he knew how to do martial arts and he stood out, he became Bruce Lee. So he's not Chinese, he's Bruce Lee. But no, Bruce Lee is Chinese, but I don't see the Chinese part of him. I see the Bruce Lee part of him. You got to build it, but it is possible. You have to overcome this. And for the people that have never met you before, you must be prepared to answer these questions. But I want to get to one point before you jump in. There are two ways to build your business overseas. First way, and I recommend both ways. I recommend one way that you don't do first is what Bryan mentioned just now. Don't get run ads directly to the country. Because if you don't know who you are, there's a high chance the things that you should say in the ad are violating context. I give you an example. A lot of people want to go to Hong Kong. Then they go and run an ad which they think works in Singapore and work in Hong Kong. For the longest time, I also don't know why it never worked. Then I went to Hong Kong and meet a friend of mine called Michael Yong. Then I asked him, hey bro, you take a look. And Michael lives in Hong Kong. I said, why this ad don't work? He said, English. Most people here speak Chinese. And it's the funny one. I said, oh shit. Actually, you go there for 2 hours in Hong Kong. You know already. You know why your ad don't work. Because you're just like, Michael just, of course you
targeting
know.
all the expats only.
Exactly.
My cousin lives in Hong Kong. He only speaks English. And like, you don't speak any single form of Cantonese. No, I only stay in the expat
area. Exactly. Michael looked at the ad. He said, no lah, this one speak English and this kind of thing. The Hong Kong people. I asked the second question, right, which all marketers should ask. I said, shit, then what do Hong Kong people like? Oh, then they come and tell me. I go, oh my god, no wonder all the ads that Singaporean marketers run to Hong Kong all the work. Go there 2 hours, you know already. So what do I recommend that people do? Not do. Number one, don't run ads to a place where you have never been. That was when I came back from Hong Kong and I had a new marketing thought. I say, before you run ads to a country, I think you visit a country first. I think you just go there 1-2 days and then you immediately understand why things work and how things work. So that's why when I expanded to Vietnam, I went to Vietnam for a period of time and I was like, oh, I totally and completely understand the culture. The two ways to grow your business internationally, number one, right, is to show a lot of content. That one you can talk about in a bit. I think you've done a great job. The second way, right, actually is the grunt work. The grunt work means go to the damn bloody convention.
The context.
The place you want to expand to Europe, then geez, you better find some fucking Amsterdam convention or German convention or whatever. You go attend, shake hands.
Become the star there.
If you can speak the language, but shake hands, get to know people, build genuine connections, go have some drinks and meals with like people and have genuine like connections. And when you got to do it more than once. And in a way, like, bro, this is what bloody businessmen do last time when they want to open new factory. Right? They go there and meet people, shake hands. I mean, it's the same thing. So there's content and the shake hand. And if you are willing to do both consistently, then sooner or later your base of people will build up. And in a way, you deserve to expand to the country because you start to have friends, you start to understand context, you start to give value to people there, and they start to embrace you.
I think it's hard to really get down to understanding cultural context and what people want, do, or like even the audience wants, especially when you're selling to them. And if you do market research core, there is possibility of doing it, but you still need to make like genuine connections. Especially with, I think for me, the easiest one is just go to somebody as a peer that you know, or at least want to make friends with, and literally just like see how he does it. Right? That's the fastest way, I would say, because
sometimes
he's been in and done that.
You pay to access. There have been people who want to, let's say you want to enter the US market. Paying for conventions is is great. If you can find a coach that is friendly one, there's a great community, and you pay to be a part of that community also, to learn and to hang out at their events and build allies and people that can recommend you. I think whatever you pay for the coaching, both in terms of learning, but in terms of connections and friendship and relationships that expand, will pay multiple fold.
Definitely. So for me, content is, I think you talk about doing a lot of content and all these kind of things, right? Very much so if you don't do it and do enough of it, and you, let's just say in our culture, speaking in Singapore, a bit Singlish, a bit Chinese, if you continue being speaking like this, you will not get to the audience that you want.
Unless...
It's very hard for them to understand, honestly.
Yes. So for content, absolutely not. If you want to do comedy, Uncle Roger, then it'll be...
Yeah, that's fine. It's like you playing your culture, you dissing other people. That's totally fine. But for content sake, or you doing...
I think it's accent and enunciation. So...
It is it is.
If your accent is too heavy and people are like, whatever the accent is, people cannot hear you, but it...
In Singapore, one problem is we speak very fast. Super fast. I
speak way too fast.
I mean, when I talk to US clients, they just, why you talk slow? And then I realize, I'm the speed of what we say things, especially be it in coaching, be it we rushing, it's
probably in Singapore.
Machine gun.
I think it's in Singapore.
New York, I think it's...
I don't think Malaysia
similar.
Malaysians speak that fast. But Malaysian fans don't speak that fast.
Yeah, they don't speak that fast.
I think it's the pressure here.
Yeah, but our culture is similar, so they understand.
Yeah.
We also understand their accent and stuff like that. It's not that. That's why people think go Malaysia easiest, but the Malaysia thing come Singapore easiest. But it doesn't work as seamless as people think sometimes. As you can tell from our friends, right?
Yeah.
It's not 100% or very easy. Just go in only. Yeah, not so easy. Yeah. So same problem. You need to go down, see what's
even
everything.
in Malaysia, in Malaysia, there are very, very distinct differences in culture. Huge, actually. Huge. I think the greatest mistake a marketer can make, right, is assuming.
Is what?
It's assuming.
Oh, assuming.
And you assume oftentimes when you don't leave your house, then you assume I understand the audience. I assume this is what the audience wants. I assume the audience is just like me. I assume all these people have the same dreams and lifestyle as myself. I assume. The thing is, I travel because of many lifestyle and personal reasons also. And the more I travel, the more I start to realize, oh shit, every country is different. And I start to assume less. Because every travel assumption I make has a price to pay. I assume they all 3-pin plug. Then I go there, oh shit.
You buy plug.
Yes, bro. Yeah. Bro, I go there and I'm like, who uses this? The funniest is New Zealand, bro. I go there 4 days. I just thought New Zealand and UK roughly the same. I go there, bro. The plug different. All my devices start dying day by day and I cannot find plug. I said, I think assumptions are very costly. So I start to assume less. I start to go there and be like, okay, cool, I'm curious. What do you guys want?
That's very, very good. Yeah. I got nothing much to add on to a lot of things. I think we come to the end of the podcast.
I hope.
It's a long podcast, but I think hope you guys actually enjoy it.
Hey, you gotta shoot content here, guys. You gotta shoot content.
Right. So if you guys please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.